today's topic is fiber, right? We all use it, we all need it. The more fiber in your body is essentially the better your food digestibility level would rise on a scale of 1 to 10. Hello, welcome back. My name is Devonnie Simon from FTF Personal Training. If you have never been back before, well, welcome. So over this channel, I'll give you some, fitness advice, health tips. So just like carbohydrates, fiber is also a superstar when it comes to nutrition. Except when it comes to fiber, a lot of times people don't realize that when it's an insoluble fiber, which means it cannot be digested by our own bodies, you can easily use those grams to subtract from the total carbohydrates of whatever you're consuming. Like, let's say a sweet potato, and just spitballing here, but like let's say there's 8 grams of dietary fiber from insoluble fiber from sweet potatoes, right? Which means that if there's let's say 30 grams of carbs in a sweet potato, subtract 8 from 30, right? And that would leave you with 22 grams of carbs. Not only fiber is one of the ultimate brooms when it comes to sweeping out the good from the bad inside your colon system. Studies have shown that fiber has helped out tremendously when it comes to certain types of chronic diseases, including diabetes and also hypertension, as well as some forms of cancer. So since fiber is the ultimate sweeper for your colon system, essentially there are 2 types of fiber, right? There's insoluble and then there's soluble. Insoluble fiber pretty much adds the bulk to your stool, which promotes a safe passage when it gets your feces out of the system, out of the colon system, and also it lowers the risk of developing constipation. Soluble fiber, on the other hand, pretty much acts like a water sponge, a very absorbent sponge, right? So what this absorbent sponge pretty much does is absorbs water, and it forms this gel-like substance which keeps you feeling full for longer, right? Which is why a lot of the times when you're eating, like for example, a sweet potato, which I love to eat, or even let's say a bread that is one of the good breads. I'm not talking about Wonder Bread, people. I'm talking rye bread, right? Like pumpernickel, or actually rye bread, or even sourdough bread is even one of them. It's great to know because a lot of times when you're eating, empty carbohydrates, so let's say a bag of potato chips, right? And you're wondering, how can I go through a whole bag of tortilla chips or potato chips in a matter of 5 minutes, or a matter of a Subway sandwich, And the reason why is because, well, not enough soluble fiber. Right? Because it's not enough soluble fiber, you're not going to feel satiated, right? In the long term, you're not going to feel satiated from 3 p.m. or lunch all the way out to dinner time. Or typically people have lunch a little earlier, but I get it when I can. So while everybody bleeds the same, not everybody has the same fiber, right? So fiber can vary greatly when it comes to your age, and also it comes down to your sex. Right? When it comes to women under the age of 50, you will have to consume anywhere between 25 to 28 grams of fiber per day. Men under 50, 31 to 34 grams of fiber per day, right? Now, when it comes to women older than 51, 22 grams of fiber per day. And men older than 51, 28 grams of fiber per day. Now, it's very important to know that these are the averages. So again, it's not rule in stone. Everybody's different. Some people are larger, some people are smaller, so it all depends on many other factors besides just age and sex. Never forget to consult with your medical healthcare professional, whoever's local to you. But of course, never compromise on quality. Now, remember people, fiber can do way more than just give you better digestion and also, smoother, cleaner, less constipated colon system, people, all right? There's a lot more. Lowering your risk of heart disease, healthy blood sugar, healthy body weight, a healthy gut. We all need one of those. Now, there's a lot of people who sleep and forget and totally negate the importance of having a healthy gut bacteria. And coincidentally, those same people are the same ones who think that your average burrito from 7-Eleven is, well, your delicacy. Also, having fiber drastically reduces your cancer risk as well. Studies have shown where we can link having a high fiber diet with lowering many risks of cancer popping up of many forms. Now, I think we can all agree on how fiber is important, how it can be great for your health. But really, where does it come from, right? Because when we think of fiber, we can really think of the basics, right? And typically those are the boring ones, right? And the basics we can think of is what I always preach on this channel, and will always preach: Good old sweet potatoes, one of the best superfoods, right? But, comes in more forms, right? Now, of course, load up on your fruits and vegetables, or fiber typically coming from fruits and vegetables. Fiber, you don't always have to buy it from a box that says Fiber 1, all right? You can get it from the produce section, people. Typically, what you get from the produce is a lot more bioavailability in the fiber as opposed to being artificially derived from a factory somewhere that you don't know. Also, when it comes to fiber, you should always choose whole grains over refined grains, okay? Now, which means pretty much you want to opt in for some quinoa, right? You want to opt in for some brown rice. You want to opt in for some whole wheat bread instead of your regular Wonder White bread, varies, right? Now, typically, whenever it's white bread, they're using enriched flour. Now, typically, when factories are shelving out, their white bread, sliced or unsliced, a lot of the time they take the flour and they bleach it. Now, a lot of times when they bleach the flour, well, all the time, I should say really all the time, it pretty much strips and removes all the nutritional value from the flour, to which then they now have to throw more, minerals back into it, which is why they call it enriched, right? Now you're enriching this product with something, right? The minerals, the thiamine, the riboflavin, the other, I think they mentioned in the ingredients, typically they mention in the ingredients. But you want to try to find bread that hasn't had any, bleached flour. Pick up some flour that hasn't been bleached yourself, so make some bread at home. I can, make a whole bunch of bread making homemade bread videos, which I do all the time, which is great. A lot of times gives you a better result than buying something that's been packaged in the bag that has airtight, that's been sitting there for a couple of weeks. A lot of times you can make better food at home. And don't sleep on those legumes, right? Your beans, your split peas, your chickpeas, your lentils, your regular peas, your red peas, chickpeas, black peas, red peas, all the peas. You need the peas. We all got pee. I have to pee. But anyways, don't sleep on the peas. Peas are a great source of fiber and also an amazing source of some protein. A lot of times, many of my days where I'm trying to bulk up, I can't hit my macros, but I have let's say a cup or even half a cup of beans. Does the trick, gives me everything exactly what I need. And it doesn't really take too long to go down. It's mashed up. A lot of times I make myself like a black bean burger, and I actually pair that up with a real burger. I stack it. I kind of like a like a cheeseburger that has like a black bean burger with it, so it's kind of like a double cheeseburger, if you will. Oh, got it. I gotta make myself one after this. All right, and also can't forget about your nuts and your seeds. All right, so one of the best seeds you can possibly get will be your pumpkin seeds. All right, I would say it's a superfood of seeds. All right, sunflower seeds are a nice appetizer. You get some benefits from it. Try not to get any salted seeds or nuts if you have hypertension, of course. But you want to make sure you get your fiber in wherever you can. And I just listed you some great sources. Now, although I'm giving you some great advice here, don't think that you have to eat fiber immediately after watching this video. Depending if you got this far at least, right? Which you should have. You should have at least. All right, so try to introduce it into your diet gradually. The reason why is because by doing that, you can help curb off any chances of you developing any bloating or gas, which then again you may contribute that to you gaining weight, which isn't the case for a lot of people walking around. Is you're not necessarily heavier, you just are bloated and are full of gas. It's just why, for example, you should sleep a full 8 hours, or at least a good anywhere from 4 to 8 hours. Your stomach by then will have flattened out, if not entirely. Some by flattening, I'm not saying that you're gonna go from having a big old dump truck to having like a skinny old flatty six pack like that. Not necessarily the case. Not at all the case at all, really. But when it comes to you having a slight couple inch or two of really skin that is a little puffed out, again, gas. So a lot of times people contribute that to feeling overweight or being a little bit too overweight. Our body image can sometimes be out of spectrum when it comes to reality, because a lot of times we look at other people, but that's besides the point. A lot when that happens, just sleep, let your body go down a little bit, just let that gas go down, let the insulin levels go down, and I guarantee you'll feel a lot better in the morning, right? Full day if you're not eating, fasting can really do the trick as well. Alright, so make sure you eat enough fiber, and also make sure you drink enough water to help you out with the fiber so you can get your digestive system back on track if it wasn't before already, and make sure that your colon system stays nice and healthy and intact. Alright, so I'm glad I can help you out. I'm going to be coming back with another video soon, and catch you later in the next one. Peace!